Hi students, I wanted to go over a couple of things with you to kind of help you understand what you're doing, everything that you're doing in InDesign. And a lot of this stuff is just kind of like planning. So obviously doing, especially like lesson 3, is teaching you how to use the skills, how to create different layouts. So it just makes your life easier. But really where it starts is at literally creating some thumbnails and just taking a pencil or a Sharpie and sketching out how you're going to plan out your brochure. And then maybe creating a dummy book, which basically create a brochure with a piece of paper folded in half, put on the front cover, in the back cover, and then think about how you're going to do this layout. So because in case that you feel that, okay, so when do you use 3 columns, when do you use 2 columns, it kind of depends of the amount of information that you have and what you're going to put on there. So if you go up to pages, and you open up the parent pages. Just a couple of things that you have to just kind of think about. You lay out information in the parent page that you know that it's gonna be consistent. And what it does, it allows you to not worry about it, and allows you to actually know that it's gonna be placed there in every single page. So as an example, the folios is one of them. Here the folios on each side with the garden news. And then here at the bottom where it says Urban Garden Oasis on each side, you know that every page will have this. So these are really good things to put on the parent page or master pages. The other thing is these boxes right here that are pretty much standard on every page it's also a good idea to put in here. So they don't have to be permanent. You can still delete them. You can still change your mind, but you know that there's copy here. There's a picture here, and copy here. You notice on every page. This may change a little bit. Now, as you understand by now, you are creating different parent pages because you can decide and you can set up different guides for different layouts, because some pages are going to have 2 columns, some pages are going to have 4 columns, some pages are going to have 3 columns. So it's up to you when you're sketching it out with your pen and pencil. Plan that out in advance. Okay, you don't want to actually jump in the computer and then do that. You want to actually literally make a plan. If you make a plan and you already know where you're going to put information, it's going to make your life a lot easier once you're jumping into the program. So here you have like a parent page B2, that's a 2-column layout. Parent page C, there's a 4-column layout. And parent page D is an insert section, like special summer events and that kind of stuff. So then you're going to drag this down to your pages as you need it. And you can tell in here, like this is the parent page A, this is parent page B, this is D, A. You organize this as you have, however you plan this out, again, to make your life easier. Now, when you're on the actual document, you remember that even though this header is like this green header, I cannot move it, right? Because it's on the parent page, is on page A3 right here. So you can move it here, and however I move it here, I can come down to here, and you can see how it moves. It affects every page, right? So I'm going to put it back. So you can change the text, but not those headers back there. So when you come in here, you're able to put be some bugs in here. You put gardening tips. Again, plan this out. And also, here's another tip. If you're doing guides, okay, So if you're doing your guides in here, and you may add different guides to different pages. So going back to the parent page, so the guides that are consistent, which are these are consistent on every page. I'm going to create this in the parent page. But guides that I did, additional guides for however I'm laying this out, you can bring additional guides. Just make sure you're actually doing it on that page. And now when you're looking at this, you need to make decisions, right? This is not a lot of information. It makes it easy to see. But let's say here, let's say in this page, like we said, the tops we're gonna leave the same, but we can get creative with the photos, and you can tell here how they got creative because they have 4 pictures on one side of the pages, and then 5 pictures on the other side. So maybe let's say you just want to do one big picture. So we could do delete this, delete this, delete this, delete all of this, bring this over, turn on my guide so I can see what I'm doing. Let's say I'm gonna go to like here, and then it's selected with my selection tool, and then go up to object, fit in, fit context proportionately. It's gonna enlarge it, and then I'm gonna take my direct selection tool, come over here, make sure the outline is that brown outline, come up to the edge, hold the shift key down, and then enlarge it. And obviously it's pixelated because it's not finding the document, okay? So now if I hide my guides, do command semicolon, and I go up to overprint preview to make it look like it's higher res. Then you see that these layouts are still working. They're still complementing each other. What you want to do, you want to make sure you have enough bleed. Come out this way. You may have to enlarge this a little bit more if your picture is big enough to be able to do that. There we go. So this gives you an idea of how, so however you decide, you can make changes, of course, once you get into the application, but most of how you plan this out, you're gonna do it by sketching your ideas out. You don't have to get really too specific. You don't have to put all the information. Like you can put a picture box with an X in the middle to dictate that that is a picture. You can just do the box next to it with horizontal lines to make it show that that is the text. You get an idea of where I'm going with this. The other thing I was going to tell you, like if you make a mistake, if you are trying to create these boxes, let's say these boxes right here, I'm going to turn on my guides. Okay, and you're following directions and it's just not, you're not getting it right. Okay, so if you look up here to your XY for placement, x-axis, y-axis, width, and height. So let's say that you're dragging the box out and you're dragging that out, you can't get it there to the right place. So you come in here to like here. But you know the length of this box, the height is 4.125. It's an easy fix. You don't need to continue struggle with the box to get the box there. You can actually just come up here, select your height and put 4.125. And it's going to bring that box to the right length that you need. Okay, that's one way to do it. The other way is that you can just literally drag it down and make it snap to the guide. Okay, so let's say that for some reason you need a guide down here. You go up above the ruler, you click and hold, and then bring it down here. Now remember, whatever guides you do, if your guides are not locked, you see how as I'm going over the guide, it's turning into a darker blue. Make sure you go under View, grids and guides, and then lock guides. And this allows you to actually, you can't grab the guide anymore. You can hide them and turn them on and turn them off with your command semicolon, so you can see what you're doing. But if you actually want that activated, and that not being able to move, then you want to lock it. Lock it or unlock it. Just kind of remember that. Now, if you remembered as an example that you just cannot move one of the guys and you don't know why it is not moving, remember to look at the actual parent page, because some of these guides are only going to be movable if you're actually on the page that they were put on. So I'm just kind of touching up in here just to make sure that think through what you're doing. And sometimes we get a little overwhelmed. So always look at what's going on up here, especially right here, to know where this is supposed to be. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.